It's time for America Outdoors Radio. The fast-paced hour of outdoors radio ahead is not only awesome, but unlike those other shows, you can actually sleep in for this one. Better still, we've got a special Pacific Northwest edition for you, sponsored by Northwest Sportsman Magazine, Rugged Point Lodge on Vancouver Island, and Northwest Fishing Guides out of our hometown here in Everett. You won't find this version of America Outdoors Radio anywhere else. It's the Pacific Northwest edition of America Outdoors Radio. Brought to you by Fox Sports 1380 KRKO.
We've got a great Pacific Northwest edition for you this week. We'll be checking in with Matt Gaget at Rugged Point Lodge on the northwest coast of Vancouver Island and see if the epic salmon fishing could possibly get any better than it already is. We'll also check in with Kevin John at Holiday Sports in Burlington. He's got some great basic advice for you Puget Sound crabbers, whether you're using a crab ring or a crab pot. We'll also check in with Jim Stahl. He's the co-owner of Northwest Fishing Guides, and see how the Lower Columbia is fishing this week. But first, it's time to tell you what's hot this week in the Northwest. Sockeye fishing has been very hot on the Upper Columbia River from Wenatchee to Brewster. Multiple guides and anglers have been reeling in limits on the Big C. Try trolling a Max Lure Cha-Cha sockeye rig about 14 inches behind a Dodger for success. Meanwhile, at Baker Lake, it's been more of a mixed bag. Some anglers have done quite well, others not so much. There is a sockeye salmon shootout or derby taking place at Baker Lake from July 29th through the 31st. It's brought to you by the Coastal Conservation Association, and the biggest sockeye caught will earn one lucky angler $1,000. Get your tickets at local sporting goods dealers or go to ccawashington.org/Baker Lake Derby to sign up online. But hurry, there's only 300 tickets for sale. Mackinac fishing at Lake Chelan has also been hot, or at least very consistent. That's the word from Anton Jones of Daryl and Dad's Guide Service, who has been getting lake trout for his clients on a daily basis, and the fish are weighing all the way up to 17 pounds. This is a deep water technical fishery where downriggers and good electronics are a must. One way to learn how to do it right is to book a trip with Daryl and Dad's Guide Service. Go to their website for more info and updated fishing reports. You'll find it at darylandads.com. And now it's time again to talk to Jim Stahl, co-owner of Northwest Fishing Guides. Jim, go ahead and give us a fishing report from the Lower Columbia. How have things been this week?
It's been pretty good. Sturgeon is its normal, kind of off the shelf. It's been really good fishing, and we've done a little steelhead fishing, which hasn't been too bad either. The tides are a little screwed up, but we're still getting a fish every day. And then the king thing down here is just starting to go. It's still not red hot. There's been a few caught every day. With the tides the way they are, it's going to get better and better towards the end of the month. We're going to get more fish pushed in. And then there's also been some coho caught out actually at the mouth, just up on the Washington side by the condos. So it's like we got a mixed bag. Everything's within about, 40 minutes of each other. So you kind of pick and choose what you want to do and get some bait and go have some fun.
So go ahead and talk me through limits for salmon and steelhead in the Lower Columbia right now through at least until the 1st of August.
All right, everything right now is basically hatchery fish. Everything has to be clipped. Steelhead, it's 2 each. Kings, it's 2 each. And coho, it's 2 each. And then catch and release for all the sturgeon.
Well, sounds like a great reason to head down to the Lower Columbia River and book a trip with Jim Stahl and Northwest Fishing Guides. You can find him by going to his website. It's nwfishingguides.net. That's nwfishingguides.net. And check out the NW Fishing Guides Facebook page for additional fishing reports that are posted from time to time.
And with that, let's head to this week's national edition of America Outdoors Radio.
Want a trip with some of the most talented anglers on the water? Then book a trip with Northwest Fishing Guides. Salmon, that's right, salmon are their specialty, and you'll get a chance to catch them out of the mighty Columbia River from a comfortable and sturdy 26-foot boat. Northwest Fishing Guides will take you out for steelhead and sturgeon too, and can also accommodate your saltwater fishing desires. So whether you want salmon in the cooler or other fish on the line, book your trip now at nwfishingguides.net. That's nwfishingguides.net. Book your trip with the best.
Blue Moon Fishing Adventures has the experience and knowledge to take you where the fish are biting the best. Blue Moon Fishing Adventures offers freshwater trips for salmon, steelhead, and oversized sturgeon. And with their 33-foot offshore boat, they can chase tuna, halibut, lingcod, salmon, and bottom fish. Whether you're an experienced fisherman or a novice, Blue Moon Fishing Adventures will do their very best to see that you have a great time fishing. Give them a call at 360-521-0273. That's 360-521-0273.
It's time for America Outdoors Radio, the show that covers the outdoor scene across the US of A and the entire continent. Fishing, hunting, conservation, outdoor recreation, and great destinations, we cover it all every week. It's your country, your outdoors. Let's explore it together with your host, John Cruz.
It's been a month of unexpected fishing success. In Washington State, a sockeye run that was supposed to be dismal has turned phenomenal, and anglers are catching limits on the Columbia River and Baker Lake. Off the coast of California, Oregon, and Washington, tuna have made an early appearance, and by all accounts, the fishing for them has been very, very good. Not only that, but many charter boat captains are reporting the tuna are bigger this year as well. Heading to the freshwater, bass anglers have been reeling in lots of largemouth bass, and some of them, to include a 7+ pounder boated this past week at Potholes Reservoir, have been very nice indeed. As for trout, what can you say? It's a constant here in the Northwest, from Montana and Idaho to our coastal states, but I will say this. I've been seeing some very nice pictures of healthy-sized trout on Facebook and on fishing forums this summer. Take it all together, and it's becoming a summer of fishing that many of us will never forget. That may be why we are covering quite a bit of fishing on our show this week. We'll start off talking to the head guide at Nootka Marine Adventures. They've got 3 resorts on the west coast of Vancouver Island where the salmon fishing has been nothing short of epic this year. Is that trend continuing? You'll soon find out. We'll also talk to John Boyer. He's the owner of Eat Me Lures. It's a company based out of Salem, the capital city of Oregon, that is located smack dab in the Willamette Valley. Don't let the landlocked location fool you, though. John is a tuna fishing addict, and he's got a lure company designed to feed that addiction not only for him, but for you as well. Continuing on the fishing front, we'll talk with John Berge with Gamakatsu. In case you were born on another planet, let me just explain that Gamakatsu is a Japanese company that makes some very, very fine quality hooks for just about every type of fishery you can think of. John is at ICAST, that huge fishing trade show in Orlando, and we'll be checking in with him to find out what's new for 2016, especially for our anglers here in the Northwest. There is more to life than fishing. There's camping too. That's why we'll be chatting with Bob Rogers with Lance Campers. If you own a short bed, half-ton pickup truck, especially a Ford F-150, you'll want to hear about the new Lance 650 camper designed specifically for these vehicles. Last but certainly not least, we'll tell you about a very unique gun show taking place July 23rd by Flathead Lake in northwest Montana. It's being put on by the Veterans Family of Brands, and it offers you not only the opportunity to check out some fine firearms from companies like Kimber and the Montana Rifle Company, but the ability to shoot them too. Think of it as taking a fine firearm for a test drive, or in this case, a test shoot. The Veterans Family of Brands also has a compelling story. We'll be sharing that with you too. And in addition to that, we've got outdoors news covering ducks in California and grizzly bears in Washington State. And of course, we've got our Trail of Shame segment. And this week, wardens with Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks need your help to find some deer poachers. But first, it's time for a fishing report. We thought we'd head back to Canada for another fishing report, and with us today is Mike Beausoleil. He's with Nootka Marine Adventures. They have 3 resorts located on the west coast of Vancouver Island. And Mike, we've been hearing about some great fishing over there. What's it like this week?
This week, the fishing has picked up at a very good pace. We had a bit of a slow last week with some bad weather and some full moon, but this week the boats are coming back. Plenty of fish. Badger Reef has been producing good. Wash Rock has been producing. We've seen some fish at Strange Island and on the inside St. Carlo. So it's very, very promising. I was also at Newton Cove Resort for the last 4 days. Fish offshore as well as inshore, and we did very well.
So are we talking all spring Chinook here, and what's the average size? I know they're getting bigger as the season goes on.
They are getting bigger. At the beginning of the season, we're seeing 12 to 17 pound fish, and now we're in the 15 to 28, 29. We've seen a couple of 30 pounds show up on the scale.
Nice.
So they're definitely getting bigger.
And limits for you, is it 2 fish a day, 4 in possession?
That's correct. Two Chinook a day, 4 possession. Also 2 coho a day, 4 possession.
And that brings up my next question. Have the coho shown up yet?
Well, just yesterday, we were, like I said, Union Cove, and we were at a place that we call the Pins, and there was a major school of coho. We can only keep hatchery coho offshore. I managed to find half a dozen out of 14, so yeah, it's been pretty good.
Wow. Okay, so it sounds like the fishing continues to be epic off of Vancouver Island this year. Let's go ahead and turn our attention to the resort you're calling from today. Again, there's 3 resorts that Nootka Marine Adventures operates. You're at Mucha Bay Resort, and this is kind of a straight shot west from Campbell River on the island. Pretty unique. You have a whole bunch of different accommodations, everything from a lodge to yurts to tents and RVs.
That's correct. The main lodge has 8 rooms, a restaurant, and also our front desk and our fish processing on the other side of the building. And the 8 rooms are upstairs. Some are kitchenette style that you can cook your own meal. They all have an upstairs, bedroom downstairs and upstairs. Our yurts, very well done. They're all full kitchen. They can sleep up to, I believe, 6 or 7 people. And our campsite range from waterfront all the way to up top in the our campground. We have 39 of them, 39 campsites.
Nice. So here's a question for you. When it comes to fishing, is this all guided fishing, or can you bring your own boat or rent a boat and go out on your own?
No, we have a variety of options. It starts with, of course, with full guided out of our 28 to 33 foot big cruisers, fully equipped, certificate and Transport Canada approved. We also do tuna fishing out of those.
Nice.
Then you go down to our rental boats that are between 18-foot aluminum all the way to 26-foot fiberglass boats with different limitation how far you can go.
Sure.
Of course, the smaller boats kind of stay closer, and the bigger ones are allowed to go all the way to Badger.
So here's another question for you. In addition to the salmon, can folks expect to catch red snapper and halibut too when they're out there for the day?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We have some spot that we like to go anchor and get our white meat bottom fish. And, usually it works pretty good. And you put a few hours in there, at the tide and put a 4-hour shift and you'll get your limit of hallies and lingcods and the odd rockfish in there.
Well, it sounds like a great deal to me. And again, we're just touching on one of the 3 resorts that Nootka Marine Adventures owns. So if you want to find out more, go to their website. It's NootkaMarineAdventures.com. 3 resorts on the west coast of Vancouver Island. And as you just heard from Mike Beausoleil, the head guide there, the fishing's pretty darn good this summer. The website again, NootkaMarineAdventures.com. Mike, thanks for telling us all about this on America Outdoors Radio.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Want some more fishing reports? We can help you out with that. Guide John Ball says that sturgeon fishing on the Lower Columbia has been a lot of fun. It's a catch and release show, but he's been catching lots of sturgeon measuring anywhere between 2 and 11 feet. John also got out for tuna and had a couple of great days. One day he got 25 tuna in the boat by 1 o'clock. Speaking of tuna, the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife reports that tuna fishing has been very good off the coast of Winchester Bay, off of Newport, and off of Depot Bay, and all the way to Astoria. Anglers are averaging 4 to 6 tuna each. And don't forget summer steelheading. The returns in Oregon have been very good this year. As a matter of fact, above the 5 and 10-year averages. So consider hitting some rivers like the Sandy or the Clackamas or the Santiam or the Mackenzie or the Willamette. Get out there with shorts and your old tennis shoes and go ahead and do a walk and wade for some summer steelhead. It promises to be a lot of fun. In Idaho, the kokanee fishing has been going very well at Lake Pend Oreille this year, and the kokanee are increasing in size. The average is 10 to 12 inches. If you want some bigger salmon, consider heading, believe it or not, to the Boise River. That's right, the Boise River, downtown Boise, actually has Chinook salmon. Why? Well, they're stocked there by Idaho Fish and Game. And the Fish and Game Department reports fishing pressure's been very light, but the river conditions are ideal. So consider taking a spinner and heading down there. See if you can hook into a Chinook salmon in Idaho's biggest city. And in Northern California, guide Jeff Goodwin has been fishing the lower Sacramento River for some very nice rainbow trout. We're talking 12 to 25-inch rainbows not far from Redding. His secret, he's fishing out of a boat. He's fishing Dick Knight spoons. He's fishing in the morning, and it's a good way to not only beat the heat, but have some fun as well. Stay tuned. We've got a lot more coming your way this week on America Outdoors Radio.
Mini Drifter offers the lightest, most versatile, and affordable aluminum drift boat prams you'll find that measure 12 feet or less. Our 8-foot model weighs only 85 pounds, and our aluminum is durable, offering you a lifetime of service with no maintenance. Our small boats can fish anywhere, and because they are small, no trailer is needed. Simply car top it or slide it into the back of your pickup. Mini Drifter boats row fast and also accept outboard or electric motors. Get your Mini Drifter today. Find out more at minidrifter.com. That's minidrifter.com.
Want to spend less time fooling around with tackle and more time fishing? The Hook 'em Good Bait Buoy Tackle Organizer and Leader Rolls can help. Keep all the important necessities, leaders, scents, pliers, cutters, and the towel close at hand. You can easily load round or oval scent bottles, as well as egg jars. Interchange your leader rolls for different styles of fishing. This unit mounts quick and easy, and extra leader rolls come with a removable hanger for your vest, waders, or belt. Check us out at hookemgood.com.
Would you like to own your own piece of recreational or rural property? Neho Land is British Columbia's leading expert in recreational and rural land. Whether you're looking for a 5-acre recreational retreat or a 1,000-acre trophy property to enjoy or leave as a legacy to your family, Neho has a property for you. Spectacular British Columbia has no restrictions on non-Canadian ownership. Visit Neho.com to find the property right for you. Remember, don't wait to buy land. Buy land and then wait. Invest now. Niho.com. Neho.com.
Lance Campers makes the ideal base camp for all of your outdoor adventures. We've been in business for over 50 years, and we specialize in making quality, lightweight campers for your pickups as well as trailers you can tow. If you own a half-ton truck, you'll want to check out our new 650 truck camper, made especially for half-ton short bed pickups. Find out more at an RV dealer near you, and be sure to check out the entire product line at lancecamper.com. Lance Campers, quality campers for you.
Are you ready for an adventure? No, not the kind where you're rappelling off cliffs and canoeing down waterfalls. The kind where you sleep in a cushy bed, open the door with a hot cup of coffee, and set out to do some fishing or hiking. The low-stress kind of adventure we offer at Northwest Adventure Rentals. We're a family-owned business that will start you on your way in one of our luxury motorhomes and travel trailers. We'll even do the packing for you. Just grab your food and clothes and set off for your next adventure. Oh yeah, don't forget your fishing pole. Look us up at NWAdventureRentals.com.
Blue Moon Fishing Adventures has the experience and knowledge to take you where the fish are biting the best. Blue Moon Fishing Adventures offers freshwater trips for salmon, steelhead, and oversized sturgeon. And with their 33-foot offshore boat, they can chase tuna, halibut, lingcod, salmon, and bottom fish. Whether you're an experienced fisherman or a novice, Blue Moon Fishing Adventures will do their very best to see that you have a great time fishing. Give them a call at 360-521-0273. That's 360-521-0273.
Row, row, row your boat, can't get up the stream. Fill your boat and motor needs a King Salmon Marine.
Are you ready for summertime fun? Have you been thinking about a new or used boat and motor? King Salmon Marine will fill all your boat and motor needs.
Row, row, row your boat to look for something new. 253-830-2962. Yay!
Want a trip with some of the most talented anglers on the water? Then book a trip with Northwest Fishing Guides. Salmon, that's right, salmon are their specialty, and you'll get a chance to catch them out of the mighty Columbia River from a comfortable and sturdy 26-foot boat. Northwest Fishing Guides will take you out for steelhead and sturgeon too, and can also accommodate your saltwater fishing desires. So whether you want salmon in the cooler or other fish on the line, book your trip now at nwfishingguides.net. That's nwfishingguides.net. Book your trip with the best.
Back with America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Cruz. This portion of the show is brought to you by the American Shooting Journal. It's a monthly publication covering the shooting scene, the firearm scene, the hunting scene, and much more throughout these great United States. Look for it at a newsstand near you. It's the American Shooting Journal. We are now going to talk to somebody really special here. His name is Tom. He is with Veterans Family of Brands, and he is helping put on a outdoor expo that is really unique that's taking place in Montana's Flathead Valley. Tom, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Now, Tom, you're a former Navy SEAL. Tell me a little bit about your service.
So I I spent 21 years in the Navy. Primarily all of that was in the Navy SEALs. Went in just primarily to become a SEAL and went through typical A school, Navy regular A school stuff, and then went on through and made it through the first time. And here I am after 21 years.
Well, you're a far better man than I'll ever be, and a far better soldier as well. Folks, if you're not aware of what the Navy SEALs go through, it is far and away the toughest thing you can do in our armed forces in terms of the qualification course and everything you've got to go through. Now, you are a veteran now. You're out of the service, but you and several other veterans got together at SHOT Show this year in Las Vegas, and you came up with a concept called the Veterans Family of Brands. Tell our listeners more about this.
We had quite a few companies that were working together, cross-promoting each other's products, and we had a lot of interest at SHOT Show this year in what we had going on. And so we sat down and decided that we really wanted to capitalize on this and really help other young and actually established veteran-owned and based companies market their products to the outdoor industry. So we started what we call the Veterans Family of Brands. And being in the military, most people or veterans will know FOB, and FOB is a forward operating base. And so we took that term and threw the veterans on front of it and changed it to Family of Brands, just for a recognition piece.
Sure.
So what we're doing is we're promoting veteran-owned, operated, and backing companies that give back to veteran nonprofits and verified veteran nonprofits. Not ones that are abusing money, but ones that are really holding up to a high standard. And the idea being that if you went into an outdoor store, or any store primarily, but an outdoor store that had products there, and you were looking at a couple different ones, and you knew one product specifically was backing veterans, was owned or operated by veterans, stood behind their product 100%, and gave back to a verified veteran nonprofit, would you not pick that product over something else?
Well, it's a no-brainer. Absolutely.
And so that was what we based this company on, and what we've been doing for the rest of this year, basically, is looking for those companies and bringing them into the fold and trying to cross-market all these different pieces. And as I said, it's outdoor-based right now, but that is not the end of it. It's just that is what we're focusing on. And so it has been growing from that point on.
So, again, this is pretty new. What companies are already involved in Veterans Family of Brands?
So we have Team Never Quit Ammunition, which is Marcus Luttrell's line of ammunition. He is the lone survivor, and he was looking at starting something that would help back his nonprofit Lone Survivor Foundation. And so, of course, being a Navy SEAL, he wanted to do something that he knew, and so he got into the ammunition business.
Sure.
And then we have Axelson Tactical, who is Jeff Axelson's the brother of Matt Axelson, who died on the operation with Marcus. He started in an AR and long gun company, and we've been close working relationship with that company from the beginning. We have Seal One, CLP, Reaper Outdoors, Controlled Chaos. We have Shooter's World Powder, Maker Bullets, Triumph Systems, Bullseye Cameras, 22 Connection, and Sure Shot Reactive Targets. These are just to name a few that we've been looking at, and there's quite a few others that are looking at either getting in with us or trying to figure out how that they can become a part of what the VFOB stands for.
Sure, and several of these are Northwest companies. Bullseye Camera, they're out of Eugene, Oregon, aren't they?
Absolutely, yep.
All right, so that's good to hear. And now let's go ahead and shift gears here. Again, sounds like a great company, great cause. And here's another question for you. Is there some sort of logo so that when people are shopping in stores, they can see that these companies are part of the Veterans Family of Brands?
Yeah, that's definitely part of what we have going on. And so the idea behind it would be that there would be a stamp or a logo being able to be put on all these products. And the other thing is that logo would be backed up by what veteran nonprofit that they are giving back to. And so with Team Never Quit Ammunition, percentage from every box that gets bought goes back to the Lone Survivor Foundation. It's the same with Reaper Outdoors, a Controlled Chaos. Every box has a certain percentage that goes back to Special Operations Wounded Warrior. Axelson Tactical has the Axelson Foundation, and everything that they give back goes right back to that foundation. And so when you see this logo, it basically says VFOB on top, eagle wings and red, white, and blue flag beneath, and then Veteran Family of Brands below that. It shows that this box or this product is actually verified and has been put through the ringer in all of our requirements to become part of this company.
You're listening to America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Cruz. We're talking with Tom with Veterans Family of Brands, a group that's basically a conglomerate of veteran-owned companies that not only sells products, but then gives part of their profits away to nonprofits that support our veterans as well. Now, you've got an outdoor expo coming up near Flathead Lake, July 23rd. Tell our listeners more about this, because this isn't just a gun show. It's a lot more than that.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to bring more of a dealer show to the area around here in Flathead Lake. Basically what we have going on is bringing all the VFOB dealers in to do a gun/outdoor show, with the idea being that you could not only look at these products, but you could use them as well. And so the people that come in can go and they can walk around, look at all the dealers that are there, and then if they wanted to shoot something or look at some of the products, they can. They can go out and they can shoot an Axelson tactical rifle. The other part to this is the valley here, the Flathead Valley, has some of the top manufacturers in the ammunition or the rifle industry in the country. And so we have Proof, Nemo, Falkor, Kimber, Montana Rifle. They're all here in the valley. And so they've all decided that they're going to be a part of this event. They're all going to have tables, and they're all going to give guns out so that, or not give guns out, I'm sorry. They're all going to have guns there at one of the ranges that we have set up that people can go out and shoot these products.
So I understand basically if you pay $25, you could get to shoot one of the rifles and a magazine full of Team Never Quit ammo, and it's a great way to try out a firearm.
Absolutely. And so basically the entrance to the show is $5. You can walk around, and if you don't want to shoot anything or look at anything, that's totally fine. We want you there regardless. It supports veterans, and it's really just a nice day, and it's a great location. But if you do want to go up, it's basically a carnival, pay as you play. If you want to shoot something, you buy enough tickets to shoot whatever you'd like, and it's about $25 depending on what you're shooting. We can add stuff or take stuff away. It just depends because we have lots of different products out there. And then you get to shoot all these different types of platforms, and you get to use the Team Never Quit ammunition. You get to use Reaper Outdoors Control Chaos ammunition, whatever you'd like to do. So it's going to be a fantastic event.
Oh, it sounds like a lot of fun. Now, I'm guessing there's going to be maybe some food, some drinks, some speakers as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, there will be food there. There'll be people that will be walking around. We have quite a few faces that'll be down there. John Tigtinen, he'll be at the event. He's one of the heroes from Benghazi. He also wrote or co-authored 13 Hours. Then we have quite a few hunting show hosts. I've got Jenna Waller from Skullbound TV, Laramie Sasquatch Miller, got Tom and Olivia Opry, and then I actually have Jack Hanna coming down as well. So that's a kind of interesting one. He's not a huge hunter. I don't think he's ever hunted in his life, but he's a huge supporter of what hunting does and what we do as a community to make sure that we're controlling the population of certain species. So
he definitely is. Now, we are out of time, but we got to go over one more important thing. It's July 23rd, I know that, but what's the exact location where this event's taking place and the hours?
So July 23rd at the Flathead Lake Lodge, and the hours are 9 to 4. There's a charity dinner that night, and all this information can be found at www.veteransfob.com.
There you go, veteransfob.com. That's the website, veteransfob.com. Check out the Veterans family of brands and make plans to attend this Outdoors Expo too. Tom, thanks for telling us all about this on America Outdoors Radio.
Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
At Tillamook Country Smoker, for 3 generations, we've made jerky with our hands and our hearts. We cut hardwood from the coastal forest. We blend the spices in every batch, following a family recipe. We feed the fire with real wood and stand watch until it's part of the beef. This is all natural, time-tested perfection in texture and flavor. You can taste the truth in every stick, every bag, and every bite. Tillamook Country Smoker. This is jerky done right.
It's time for summer, and you need to be ready. So stop in at any Oxark store to find all of the summer supplies you need for your yard, home, farm, or business. Oxark has gloves, first aid kits, safety glasses, and even a full line of industrial tools. And don't forget, it's time for Gatorade and Igloo coolers. So this summer, be ready and stop by any Oxark or shop online at oxark.com.
It's time for another local shot of the outdoors. It's the Pacific Northwest edition of America Outdoors Radio, and you'll only hear it here on Fox Sports 1380 KRKO.
It's time to talk to Matt Gaget again from Rugged Point Lodge on the northwest coast of Vancouver Island. Matt, go ahead and give us a fishing report. How have things been the last week?
Well, fishing's been fabulous. Out at the Salmon Highway, our guests are getting their limit of Chinook, ranging from, the ones we're keeping are 20 to 30 pounds, and a lot of the boats are limiting it out with, by 9 o'clock.
Wow.
And, lots of fish. And then the halibut fishing's right in the same area. It's on fire.
Well, it's nice to hear. Number one, we've been telling folks for weeks now about the epic salmon run that's going off in BC waters. And number two, I noticed that the fish size is getting bigger from the last time we talked, 20 to 30 pounds on average. Those are some really nice salmon to take home.
Yeah, the fish are much bigger than they have been the last couple of years. And the fish we're getting on the inside, like right along the beach, so to speak, they're eating squid. They're all full of squid, so the salmon are fat and getting fatter by the day.
Interesting. Have the coho made a showing yet? Are you getting any of those?
Yeah, we're just starting to see some coho offshore. We're allowed to keep hatchery fish out there. We're allowed to keep wild fish in closer to shore. But yeah, they're just showing up, and the ones we got, we had a couple hatchery fish last trip, and they were in the 8 or 9 pound range.
Nice. So very realistic then to go ahead and expect to go out there this time of year and get a couple of Chinook around 25 pounds apiece and a couple of coho that are going to be, around 8 pounds apiece, and do that times 2, because that's your possession limit is basically 4 fish a day, isn't it?
Yeah, you're allowed 4 salmon a day, 8 possession, and 2 Chinook a day. So 2 of the 4 are Chinook.
Well, there you go. A great reason to book a vacation and a fishing trip at Rugged Point Lodge. Go to their website to find out more. That's ruggedpointlodge.com. Matt, we'll check in with you again soon.
Okay, thanks, John. Take care.
There's a whole bunch more of the great outdoors coming your way on Fox Sports 1380.
Some of the best saltwater fishing you'll ever experience is taking place off Vancouver Island this year, and Rugged Point Lodge is where you need to go to catch them. Rugged Point Lodge offers comfortable accommodations, great food, and the chance to catch a limit of salmon, halibut, or lingcod mere minutes away from the dock. Better still, it's not too late to book a trip for this summer to take advantage of what promises to be the best salmon fishing in a generation. Book now at ruggedpointlodge.com. ruggedpointlodge.com, where fishing dreams come true.
From the Columbia River to Puget Sound, the Coastal Conservation Association in the Pacific Northwest works to conserve the fish we love and does so while protecting our heritage of sport fishing. To find out more, go to ccapnw.org. That's ccapnw.org.
You're back with America Outdoors Radio. This portion of the show is brought to you by Northwest Sportsman Magazine. It's the monthly publication that covers the hunting and fishing scene throughout the greater Northwest. Look for it at a newsstand near you. We are catching up with John Berge. He's with Gamakatsu, that great hook manufacturer based out of Japan that makes definitely the best hooks you're going to find, not just in Japan, but maybe the world. John, you're at ICAST in Orlando. That's always an exciting place to be.
Yes, it is. Thank you for having me on, and appreciate the time you're allotting me. And yeah, it is exciting. It's always exciting to introduce new products and meet old friends and make new ones.
For the firearms industry, there's SHOT Show. For the fishing industry, it's ICAST. It's like the biggest trade show you're going to find, at least in America, where you have all of these companies that are rolling out new products, whether it be hooks, whether it be rods, whether it be reels, whatever has to do with the fishing industry. So in terms of Gamakatsu, what have you got of interest for Northwest anglers this year?
Well, as you know, we make so many different varieties of hooks, and with the popularity of the tuna fishing coming on off the west coast, of Oregon and Washington, we're introducing, and we have been asked for larger packages of some of our saltwater hooks, some of our live bait hooks, and our ring hooks that the live bait fishing seems to be growing in popularity. So we're coming out with those, and we've had many requests for larger pack sizes on our drop shot hooks in the red finish, which has become very, very kind of the go-to hook for the kokanee fishermen. And so all they were able to buy in the past is just the small packs with anywhere from 8 to 10 hooks in it. Now we've introduced a 25 pack for the guys that like to tie their own leaders and their own snells. And also we've addressed the cat fishermen for this next year. Catfishing is not as huge in the Northwest, although there are quite a few anglers that do target catfish, but for the Southeast and mid-state, it's become very popular. So we've introduced a circle hook that is specific to the catfish market. So we look for great things for sales in that for this upcoming season of 2017.
You kind of hit the nail on the head on a lot of things there. And yes, catfishing isn't as popular in the Northwest as it is in other places, but a lot of people don't know the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife has has an active catfishing stocking program, and a couple of great places to catch catfish are on the Snake River, especially down over along the Oregon-Idaho border. Farewell Bend State Park is a great place to go, and up by Lyons Ferry in the Palouse country is another great place for catfish. And as for tuna, you're right. That market, in fact, that whole fishery is just getting more and more popular every year. And last but not least, red hooks. I guess I just didn't understand how important those were until I went out with a bass angler on the Columbia a few years ago, and he put red hooks just on rattle traps, and we fished side by side, red hooks, non-red hooks. The difference was amazing. They really do work.
They definitely do, and there's pretty amazing to me. Probably our most popular selling hook in our whole entire line is our EWG worm hook in a 3/0, and probably in the top 5 is that same hook in a red finish. So there are plenty of anglers that rely on a red hook, and red hooks in the walleye market are a huge thing. And of course, it's kind of a natural for the salmon and steelhead angler too, that when we introduced those many years ago, they just have found a niche there, and guys just swear they can't catch a fish unless they have a red octopus hook on there.
No, I hear you. Really quick, Gamakatsu, known for high-quality hooks. What separates you from a lot of the competition?
Well, I'll try to make it as quick as I can, but there's a very high commitment to quality on all of the products that we produce, and probably that really separates us probably from many of the other hooks that are out there are the tempering process that we go through. You get them too hard, they break; too soft, they bend, and trying to find that perfect balance is very difficult.
Well, John, we are out of time, but I will leave you with one note. I've used your products quite a bit over the years. I have never had a Gamakatsu hook fail on me. Folks, you can find Gamakatsu hooks at all quality sporting goods stores throughout the Northwest, throughout the nation. John, we will talk to you again soon.
Thank you very much, John.
Next on America Outdoors Radio, we're talking to John Boyer. He's the owner of Eat Me Lures. He manufactures lures out of Salem, Oregon, specifically for tuna fishing. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
So, John, the tuna bite's been going on a little bit earlier this year. How are things looking along the West Coast for tuna fishing this summer?
It's looking fantastic. There's a lot of tuna right now. They're a little bit bigger grade than last year, and so far it looks like a banner year.
I understand as good as it's going to be this year, and I know you're going to be involved with the Oregon Tuna Classic. You're actually getting ready to head down to Cabo, and I understand the tuna fishing down there can be nothing short of fantastic.
Oh, it sure is. It's wonderful this time of year. We're going to be running our boat from Cabo up to the East Cape for the Dorado Shootout. Last year we took the tuna and wahoo division. We're looking to do a little better this year, but it's going to be a wonderful time. The fishing has been a little bit on the slow side. Seems like the fish all kind of moved up towards Southern California last year, and it's hopefully it'll be a little better this year.
Well, I suspect if they're to be found, you'll find them. And I know you're going to be using some of your own products. Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about your product line at Eat Me Lures?
You bet. We make strictly saltwater lures. Lures we make go from albacore all the way up to blue marlin. We've got the biggest blue marlin in all Baja on our lure.
Wow.
1,320 pounds, 17 feet long on the East Cape.
Good Lord. That is a heck
It was not
of a
caught
fish.
by us. It was caught by the captain and another crew, and they sent us all the information and pictures. So as far as albacore fishing off the Oregon coast, we love running our Lolo lures early in the season. They're kind of like about the size of a clone, 6 inches. We'll run sometimes. I like running a couple small jet heads closer behind them. As the season progresses into August, September, then we'll downsize to 5-inch jet heads and hex heads until we find the fish, and then we'll switch over to either swim baits or iron or combination of both.
And I guess that's my next question. In terms of the lures that you make, are we talking basically, heads that you're putting anchovies or mackerel on, or are we talking iron, or are we talking swim baits?
Well, we make swim baits. Matter of fact, we just produced 2,000 swim baits over the weekend. We make swim baits on our Lolo lures, which are acrylic head with the eyes and whatever skirt color you want. They're a little bit heavier for up here because a lot of times the sea conditions, you're in a little heavier seas, you want the lure to stay down low. And so far it's been just working great. We make it right here in Salem, Oregon.
So, John, I got a question for you. How did a guy from Salem, Oregon become a tuna lure manufacturer? I'd expect to be having this conversation with somebody down along the coast in California, not somebody in the capital city of Oregon State.
Well, actually, my dad was in the military, so we were over the Marshall Islands. I was fishing when I was a little kid. It was San Diego. We were fishing long-range boats when I was just 8 years old. So I've always been out in the ocean fishing, and I love it. I love making the lures, and it just took off. And instead of a hobby, it's becoming work now.
It's becoming work, and I can tell from our earlier conversation before we went on the mic that tuna fishing's not just a hobby; it's an addiction for you, isn't it?
That's correct. We love fishing. I've got 31 Cabo. I run out of Newport, Oregon, and I've got a 24-foot Parker that we run out of Cabo. So in the wintertime, we can still go down and test our lures. As long as we're on the radio, if anybody out there is interested in being a pro staff member, I'm going to post it on the website iFish. We're looking for somebody that fishes a lot, that would like to test our swim baits. We got some new swim baits we made. We'd like to apply some product. Somebody that would like to go out there and test it, give us some feedback on it.
Well, for all you listeners out there that are tuna anglers, there's a special bonus for you. So how can they get a hold of you? Let's go ahead and give out your website.
Oh, you bet. Our website is eatmelures.com, or you can reach us by our phone, 503-779-1059.
Last but not least, where can folks find your lures?
Fisherman's Marine.
Okay.
Cape Marine down in Cabo, or you can buy from us direct online.
All right, so it sounds like the place to go, eatmelures.com. Again, eatmelures.com. And if you're interested in being a pro staff member and trying out some of their products, give them a call, 503-779-1059. That's 503-779-1059. Let them know you heard about it on America Outdoors Radio. John, thanks for the rundown and good luck fishing.
You bet. Thanks for having us.
Gamakatsu has a great selection of premium quality hooks for any fish. Whether you're a gear fisherman or a fly angler fishing freshwater or saltwater, we've got a hook for you. You can spend hundreds of dollars on your rod, reel, and fishing line, so don't scrimp on the hook. There's nothing worse than losing the fish of a lifetime because you used a cheap hook. That's why you want Gamakatsu hooks at the end of your line. They won't let you down, and they won't let the fish go. Look for Gamakatsu hooks at quality sporting goods stores near you.
Don't miss the boat this summer and treat yourself to a fishing adventure of a lifetime. West Coast Resorts is pleased to offer its guests unparalleled angling on the west coast of Haida Gwaii in British Columbia, just 50 miles south of Alaska. Their fishing lodge locations offer deluxe accommodations, remoteness, and proximity to the most productive salmon and halibut fishing grounds. True wilderness angling is much closer and more affordable than you think. Call them today at 1-800-810-8933 or visit them at westcoastresorts.com.
Hey, everybody, skull together for a fish perspective, huh? Hey, where are y'all going?
Dad, we're not moving, you are!
Fred, come back here this second!
Dad, you're in a rip current! Swim parallel to the shore!
A rip... what?
Rip currents can appear anywhere along the Oregon coast. Remember to swim parallel to the shoreline and then back to shore. Fred was lucky. Alex knew what to do. Be aware of rip currents. Make sure your good times on the Oregon coast stay good times. Respect the beach.
Hi, I'm Brandon Bates. You know, we hunters appreciate the animals that we pursue in a way that non-hunters will just never understand. We also protect their habitat. That's why the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation alone has conserved more than 5.5 million acres of prime elk country and torn down over 600,000 acres of no trespassing signs. But we're losing vital habitat every day and we need your help. If you haven't gotten on board yet, you ought to. Call 1-800-CALL-ELK or visit elkfoundation.org.
Limit Out Performance Marine is your West Coast Phoenix, Larson, and Alumacraft boat dealer. We also offer full service for your Mercury and Yamaha outboard and have complete parts and tackle store for your every boating need. We'll not only provide you with full service for your boat, motor, and trailer, but we'll also educate you on how to better operate and maintain your boat so you can have a better experience in the water. Visit us at 421 5th Avenue Northwest in Pacific or go online to limitoutmarine.com.
Nootka Marine Adventures provides the premier Canadian West Coast experience, with accommodations ranging from serviced RV and campsites to first-class luxury lodge, yurt, and chalet accommodations, and the ability to bring your own boat, rent a boat, or take a guided fishing charter. Nootka Marine Adventures has it all. They're accessible by land, boat, or float plane, and offer the most consistent fishing on the west coast of Vancouver Island. Book your stay today at NootkaMarineAdventures.com. That's NootkaMarineAdventures.com.
Offshore Northwest is Washington's most exciting albacore tuna fishing charter, offering one-day run and gun live bait tuna fishing trips from Westport, Washington. You'll leave at first light, run an hour and a half out to the tuna grounds, and catch these fish till your arms fall off. You'll be back at port by 5 p.m. on a 30-foot Parker boat. The tuna are here now, and this is shaping up to be a record summer, so call Captain Carey now at 253-380-9973. That's 253-380-9973 for Offshore Northwest.
Mini Drifter offers the lightest, most versatile, and affordable aluminum drift boat prams you'll find that measure 12 feet or less. Our 8-foot model weighs only 85 pounds, and our aluminum is durable, offering you a lifetime of service with no maintenance. Our small boats can fish anywhere, and because they are small, no trailer is needed. Simply car top it or slide it into the back of your pickup. Mini Drifter boats row fast and also accept outboard or electric motors. Get your Mini Drifter today. Find out more at minidrifter.com. That's minidrifter.com.
You're back with America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Cruz, and this portion of the show is brought to you every week by California Sportsman Magazine. It is the monthly publication that covers everything that's happening, fishing-wise, hunting-wise, outdoors-wise, in the great state of California. Look for it at a newsstand near you. And we've got good news to share out of California, where waterfowl numbers are on the rise. The California Department of Fish and Wildlife has completed its annual survey of waterfowl breeding pairs. Biologists found that after a 3-year decline in mallards and total duck species, both categories have increased this year. The breeding population of mallards actually increased from almost 174,000 to nearly 264,000. That's an increase of 52%, and that means there should be some very good early season duck hunting this fall. Have you ever wondered if grizzly bears actually exist in Washington State? Well, I can tell you now that they do. From the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife, we learned that U.S. Fish and Wildlife staff working with WDFW captured a male grizzly bear in the Washington Selkirk Mountain ecosystem on June 29th. The bear was a 5 to 6-year-old male. It weighed 366 pounds and was in good health. It was released on site after being fitted with a GPS radio collar and tagged. In case you are wondering what the tag number is, in case you see him, it's number 1002. The grizzly bear captured this week by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service capture team is the first grizzly bear ever radio collared in the Evergreen State. Some good news on the conservation front from the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, a 320-acre property in southwestern Montana, vital to wildlife and linked to pages of U.S. history, is now permanently protected thanks to a successful collaboration between the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation and the U.S. Forest Service. The former Holland Family Ranch is located west of Dillon and was previously an in-holding in the Beaverhead Deer Lodge National Forest. It lies squarely on the Nez Perce National Historic Trail, where Chief Joseph led his Nez Perce tribe away from its pursuers in 1877. Elk use this property as calving grounds as well as spring and summer range. It serves as an important wildlife movement corridor between the Big Hole River Valley and the Continental Divide, not only for elk, but also for mule deer, moose, and black bear. It's also home to the Canada lynx, wolverine, and a wide variety of other animal and bird life, and includes more than 2 miles of fisheries, wetlands, and surrounding riparian habitat. The Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation recently conveyed the tract to the Forest Service, thus providing both new and improved public access for hunting, fishing, and other recreational activities. And finally, a humorous story for you out of Northwest Washington, where we learn employees with the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife can respond to some pretty strange calls. A case in point, the resident in Stanwood who reported he and his dog were being harassed by wild turkeys. Wildlife Conflict Supervisor Caldwell and Law Enforcement Sergeant Marstad spoke with the homeowner who has been having a conflict with turkeys at his residence. The turkeys, according to the landowner, have been attacking his dog, roosting on his roof, and pecking through his window screens. The homeowner said that those turkeys agitate his dog routinely around 4 a.m., and this is preventing him from getting a good night's sleep. Supervisor Caldwell and Sergeant Marstad worked with the landowner on several ideas to mitigate the problems, and they will be following up with him in the coming weeks. Those darn turkeys. I don't know what else to say about this one.
It's time for the Trail of Shame.
Shame, shame on you. Shame, shame on you.
stories of poachers, scoundrels, and other ne'er-do-wells, so if you see someone committing a criminal act on the water or in the field, turn them in. It's the right thing to do.
Our inductees this week decided to spend their 4th of July weekend doing something despicable. It happened on Sterling Road near Norris in southwest Montana on Sunday, July 3rd. A landowner off Sterling Road called Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks to report finding a dead white-tailed doe on his property. The warden who responded then found another deer, this time a young mule deer buck on an adjacent property. Then the owner of that property found an additional 5 mule deer that were dead. All 7 of the deer were shot and left to waste. Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks is asking anyone that may have heard or seen anything that may be related to this case, particularly on Saturday, July 2nd, to call 800-TIP-MONT. The phone number again, 800-TIP-MONT. Callers can remain anonymous, and hopefully one of our listeners tuning in to the mighty 580 KANA out of Anaconda might have seen something, might have some information that will help identify and put behind bars this week's inductees who are walking our trail of shame.
Shame on you.
Next on America Outdoors Radio, it is summertime, and you are probably seeing a lot of RVs, a lot of trailers, and a lot of campers on the road. Well, one that might stand out is a brand new camper from Lance Campers just for half-ton pickups. With us here to tell us more about it is Bob Rogers with Lance Campers out of California. Bob, welcome to the show.
Thanks, John. Glad to be here.
So you've got a brand new camper called the 650 just for half-ton pickups. Tell our listeners more about it.
Certainly, yeah. We're really excited about the 650 here at Lance. A couple reasons. Number one, it's our smallest truck camper that we've introduced in a while. So traditionally, our truck campers have been larger campers, fully featured, and at the higher end of the price spectrum. And the 650 has been specifically built for half-ton pickup trucks with 5 and 6 foot beds, specifically targeted at the F-150, but it also fits other half-ton trucks. And that pickup truck configuration is by far the most popular configuration on the highway today. So the number of customers out there that have the truck is a big number, and I think they're going to be excited about it. But the 650 is a full-featured, lightweight camper that has everything in it that you would need for convenience in terms of air conditioning, microwave, obviously range top, a full bathroom, so you have a toilet and a shower, all in a really nice, lightweight, compact package that fits on the F-150 and other half-tons as well.
Well, I am a half-ton pickup truck owner myself, and I've seen some of the products out there, and they tend to be really on the small side, or they skip on certain features like bathrooms, like you have mentioned. But I've got to admit, checking out the website, you guys really managed to pack a whole bunch of punch into a very small product here. What stands out between you and the competition as far as this new 650 camper?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think the 650 is what I call 100% Lance DNA. And what I mean by that is we're pretty much well known for building a really quality truck camper, but still make it lightweight. So this unit comes in at around 1,842 pounds, what we call wet weight, which is standard equipment, optional equipment that most people get, plus LP and fresh water and things like that. So standard equipment on this truck camper are radius acrylic tinted thermopane windows. So they're year-round windows, they're thermopane. We have all aluminum construction. We use higher-end products like Asdel, which is a material used in the sidewall that is a composite. So it won't mildew like wood does or rot, things like that. And it's very lightweight and a very good insulator as well. So that's all standard. One-piece TPO roof, which is a plastic roof that is flexible and has proven over time to be really, really weatherproof and good product for us. Bluetooth-enabled audio system.
Nice.
So full audio system, speakers inside and out, and you can operate it with an app on your phone. Light ply frame cabinets. We use a plywood imported from Italy, which is super lightweight but super strong. And those things kind of separate us from the competition. And then we have unbelievably great options like power awnings, which makes setting up your awning in and out effortless. Keyless entry. You have a key fob just like you would on your automobile.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
wow.
Great option.
Well, I got to tell you, that is very, very impressive and certainly does separate you from the competition. I also like the fact that the lightweight, especially now that a lot of pickup truck manufacturers in the half-ton market are coming out with V6 engines, this sounds like it would fit very well with that.
It really does, and we, like I said, we targeted it. We put it on an F-150 when we built the prototype, and we actually debuted it at the SEMA show in Las Vegas, which is a huge aftermarket automotive show in Vegas, and to overwhelmingly positive response. And it looks so good on that truck, and it handles so well. As a matter of fact, it's my favorite personal demo. Whenever I get the chance, my wife and I get the chance to go camping, that's the one I grab. And whether it's mountain biking or just heading to the mountains for a quick weekend of camping, that's the one we grab because it allows you to get in any place you want to go with that truck in a great package. So we love it.
We are running short on time, but if folks want to find out more about the Lance 650 camper, obviously they can go to dealers, and you've got a whole bunch up and down the West Coast. But is there a website we can steer people to as well?
Absolutely. LanceCamper.com, singular, just LanceCamper.com. They can find all the specs and features on the 650 as well as all of our truck campers, as well as our travel trailers and our new toy haulers as well.
There you go, folks. It's LanceCamper.com, LanceCamper.com. Go ahead and check out the new 650 camper and all the other products that Lance Campers has to offer. Bob, thanks for sharing this with us on America Outdoors Radio.
My pleasure, John. Thanks for having me.
It's time for another local shot of the outdoors. It's the Pacific Northwest edition of America Outdoors Radio, and you'll only hear it here on Fox Sports 1380 KRKO.
For our next field report, we're stopping by Holiday Sports in Burlington. This is a great place to go if you're into crabbing. And with us here is Kevin John, the manager. Kevin, good to talk to you again.
Hey, nice to see you, John.
Kevin, what are people using to catch crab?
It's been pretty good reports so far, but most of the guys out there are fishing either salmon heads as we're rolling a couple of weeks into salmon season here, and chicken backs work pretty well. Anything else you have that's stinky, the biggest thing is make sure it's fresh. You don't want any rotten bait. Dump some Potskie's crab and shrimp gel on there, or some of the different Procure stuff, something to send it up a little bit so we got a real good oil slick going on out there. Makes a big difference.
How long should you keep that crab pot or crab ring down, generally speaking, before you pull it up?
Well, a crab pot and a crab ring both fish a little differently. If we're fishing a ring, you want to be pulling those things every 15 or 20 minutes. So you get your hands on 4 or 5 of those things, and a boatload of people, you can just keep making the rounds until you've got some crab in there and keep everything sorted out. As far as your pots go, it depends on the pot you have. 2-door pot is going to take a lot longer to get some crab in there. So, whether that's a 2 or 3 day soak for you or overnight, that's fine. But, I wouldn't be looking at pulling it every hour anyway. Give it a good couple, 2-3 hours, and you'll be in a lot better shape.
So if you want to have your own personal deadliest catch experience here in Puget Sound, head on over to Holiday Sports. They are very well stocked with all the crabbing gear you need, and they'll give you advice too, so you can have success out here. Kevin, thanks for sharing this great crabbing advice with our listeners on the Pacific Northwest edition of America Outdoors Radio.
Backcountry Hunters and Anglers, a nationwide group working to keep public lands in public hands so future generations can enjoy what we enjoy. Join the group that makes a difference. Check us out at backcountryhunters.org.
Some of the best saltwater fishing you'll ever experience is taking place off Vancouver Island this year, and Rugged Point Lodge is where you need to go to catch them. Rugged Point Lodge offers comfortable accommodations, great food, and the chance to catch a limit of salmon, halibut, or lingcod mere minutes away from the dock. Better still, it's not too late to book a trip for this summer to take advantage of what promises to be the best salmon fishing in a generation. Book now at RuggedPointLodge.com. RuggedPointLodge.com, where fishing dreams come true.
Are you ready for an adventure? No, not the kind where you're rappelling off cliffs and canoeing down waterfalls. The kind where you sleep in a cushy bed, open the door with a hot cup of coffee, and set out to do some fishing or hiking. The low-stress kind of adventure we offer at Northwest Adventure Rentals. We're a family-owned business that will start you on your way in one of our luxury motorhomes and travel trailers. We'll even do the packing for you. Just grab your food and clothes and set off for your next adventure. Oh yeah, don't forget your fishing pole. Look us up at NWAdventureRentals.com.